too many things in my hands. Okay. To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Or in my case, Disneyland is my land. Growing up in California, I had the opportunity to visit Disneyland on several occasions, and it continued to influence my life the older I got. I work at a Disney store as a Disney cast member. I feel that Disneyland's creation and existence has continued to impact the world as the happiest place on earth, despite the fact that a lot of people haven't even gotten to go to the parks. So, we're going to jump into the past and discuss what inspired Disneyland. So, USA Today stated that Disney said that his inspiration actually came from his daughters. And Disney himself said that when the girls were young, he would take them to the park and watch them play on the merry-go-round, and he thought to himself, what if there was a Disney or an amusement enterprise where parents and children could go together and have fun at the same time? So, with this concept in mind, he started to look for a place to build this park. First place he found was an 8-acre piece of land in Burbank, California, close to his movie studio. But World War II happened, and he was postponed until further notice. In 1953, he realized 8 acres wasn't going to be big enough. He wanted to build a fantasy castle, he wanted to build a railroad, he wanted to build mountains and rivers. Not big enough. So, the Stanford Research Institution started a survey to look around for a bigger place to put the park. And they found a 160 acres piece of land in Anaheim, California, that was made up of an orange grove that is gone now, because Disney said, that's where I want to put my park. So, the next question is, how did he get it up and running? While Disney was an ambitious man, his pockets were only so deep. He said, I could never convince the financiers that Disneyland was feasible because dreams offer too little collateral. So, with that in mind, Disney turned to TV. He created a show called Walt Disney's Disneyland, where he began to show his ideas and creations that he was going to put into the park to the American people and gain their support. So, to design the park, he actually turned to his animation team. And they came up with something that Roger B. Jr. states was a design that had never been seen before. So, Disneyland consists of 5 lands. We have Fantasyland, Mickey's Toontown, Tomorrowland, Main Street USA, Frontierland, and then later added on to Frontierland was Adventureland, New Orleans Square, and Critter Country. Disney kept a very close eye on the park while it was being built because he was very meticulous for details. So the last question is, how is Disneyland still relevant? Peter Fisher stated that on July 17, 1955, Walt Disney had gone deep into debt to make this day happen. 28,000 guests out of 11,000 who had been invited showed up to the park and saw something that day that they had never seen before. Opening day, however, was a complete disaster. It was 110 degrees, and the asphalt was still steaming just because it had been laid the night before. So people were walking, and if you were wearing high heels, your heels would get stuck in the concrete. And the heat wave continued on for a good couple of weeks, and the park was almost shut down. But despite the disaster, by 1965, 50 million people had gone through the gates of Disneyland, and by today, it's estimated that 500 million people have gone, including myself. So, Disneyland has been an inspiration ever since it opened. During Disney's lifetime, he transformed a minor studio into a $100 million a year entertainment empire, at least Slayman states. President Dwight Eisenhower even said, Disney's attitude towards life has helped our children develop a clean and cheerful view of humanity. And then USA Today stated that a quote from President Robert Iger from Disney, who said, Disneyland has been an ambassador of goodwill to the world, with its magical, uplifting, and often inspiring stories. So, 59 years later, Disney still continues to impact the world, starting from California to Florida, all the way to Europe and Asia. There's studios in, let's see, Tokyo and I think Disney Paris even. I really want to go to that one. So, to recap, Disneyland is known as the happiest place on earth and is important to the world as a sign of joy, and it shows that dreams can come true. Disneyland was inspired by his daughters. His financial situation didn't deter him from making his dreams a reality, and his dreams continue to impact us. So, before I leave you, I'm going to share a video with you of Walt Disney on the opening day of Disneyland giving his speech. It's a little blurry because it's old.
All who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past. And here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. Thank you.
And with that, I hope you have a magical day.